right, welcome back. I know we've been prone to a little silliness this morning. Okay, it's all of his fault, so let's just become serious now for a second. Just try. No, it is a Tuesday, and as per usual, we discuss relationships, and we do try to take the edge off some pretty kind of intense moments, because we all have gone through them, and this is our scenario today.
All right.
A month and a week ago, well, quite specific there, I got asked out by a girl at a party at my college, and we started talking. However, after 3 weeks of talking, I asked if she wants to pursue a more platonic relationship. So basically, a friend zone, because I really wanted to get to know her as a person without the stress of rushing into a relationship. She thinks I only ever want to be friends with her when, in fact, I feel attracted to her. You did yourself a dirty here, bro. We've stopped talking romantically, and now the more I get to know her, I am starting to like her and miss her when she's not around. What do I do now? Oh, interesting question to be asked and answered, because joining us to chat a bit more about this really interesting matter at hand and give some professional advice are registered counsellor Kelly Jacobs and Sadia Southgate, who is an HPCSA registered counsellor and psychology supervisor. She's going to supervise us this morning. So let's give them a feel-good welcome. Take them out of the friend zone, bring them into the studio zone for today. Ooh, you guys are rubbing your hands at the prospect of this one.
Okay. Oh, where do we start? There's so much. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can we start with intent? That's a good way.
Yeah.
Intention. Because, you know, when you meet somebody, for some, you don't exactly want to jump their bones immediately. However, you're kind of thinking to yourself, maybe later. But you just don't have that. So let's talk about intentions and communication and why that's so important from, you know, the outset. I think that's a good way to start off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any one of you can answer. In fact, both.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
The more the media.
Yes.
I think, you know, oftentimes we say that we need to communicate, but very seldom do we actually define what communication is and what intention is, how we go about communicating, you know. But what it comes down to, you know, is communication is transferring information from one place or one person to another. So it's about being open and transparent. And often when I say open and transparent in communicating is that it doesn't mean that if I communicate that I'm an open, honest and transparent and effective communicator. So when that, you know, kind of goes into play, it speaks to I'm open and effective in my communication. So that is what speaks to how I'm going to link my intention alongside
And
that.
it's a great foundation.
Yes, and I think even, you know, with communication, it fosters trust. And I think from the get-go in this scenario, there was no trust that was built because of the lack of communication and intention in saying that I actually do like you, but let's kind of just get to know each other on a platform of different, you know, environments. Because I would suggest professionally that before you start to date someone, get to know them, you know, one-on-one, get to know them in a social setting, because how they are with you one-on-one is different to how they are in a family setting and in a social setting.
So you're kind of talking like the brain operates at our will when we're meeting someone that we're attracted to, which often is not the case.
Yes, absolutely.
I love the noble intentions here of not wanting to muddy the waters with too much of that kind of intention there. Like, okay, we're going to just jump the gun. We're going to make this presumably physical before we're ready to do that, and then it's going to ruin the potential of a long-term relationship. But you're starting on that path with the intention of getting into a romantic relationship. So if you're not clear about that, or maybe you yourself, because this speaks to a level of uncertainty within myself rather than the undecided outcome. We don't know how it's going to work out, yet I don't feel secure in going after a relationship right now, which is why I'm in this helicopter holding pattern. What was your first warning sign there about the way that Anonymous, I wish we could say their name, someone we know, you.
No. It's a colleague of ours upstairs.
When you heard this story, Anonymous upstairs would love to know what their first mistake was. Where did this go south for you?
I think what's so clear, and exactly to echo what Sadia had said, is understanding your own intentions also requires a level of self-awareness. Knowing where you're at romantically, and if your process is to get to know somebody first on a platonic level, that's fine and that's okay. But I think in honor of trust and building trust, we've got to communicate those intentions first and foremost. And really just to think about what it is that you need in terms of your pursuit of a romantic relationship. And if you find that getting to know somebody on a friendship level, that's okay, but we've got to communicate that so you can build trust and vulnerability. So to answer your question with regards to the red flag, I think he needed to clarify for himself, first and foremost, what it was that he wanted.
Because, I mean, nothing is going to be kind of more ingratiating than you telling a person, listen, I'm not really interested in you, but let's just see if I can become interested in you if we spend enough time together.
Yes.
Not really giving me, like, you know, kind of chemistry vibes.
Yeah.
Buddy, I can feel you want to say something really inflammatory.
I
so
do.
I
was going to say something like that. I was going to say, like, it's not you, it's me.
You see, no, I promise you, he's just joking. It was a joke. It's not, it's him. It's not you guys. It's not you guys. I want to bring Zanele into this conversation, if I can, in our Joburg studios, just to add a little extra spice here, because this is something that we've all experienced one way or another. When those attentions aren't clear, Zanele, if you had to be approached by someone under the sky, someone telling you, listen, I'm not interested in a physical relationship or the romance, I just want to see if we can build a relationship, a friendship, how would that make you feel as a potential suitor? How do you feel about this scenario?
Do you know what, Graham, can I say, I think honesty really is the best policy. And as much as that's a cliche, I think it works out. Like, Anonymous, why did you lie? Look at what we are in now, this mess of a situation. But now that we've dealt with that, I definitely think that I would appreciate that. I think that it's always so good, particularly when it comes to matters of the heart, to be able to 100% know what you're going into with both eyes wide open, having all the information that you need, rather than me being in the dark and thinking that, you know what, it's either we are just friends or you possibly are interested in me when you're not. And I think that I would much rather appreciate that than you being a little bit of an actor over here, making things seem like they aren't.
No, completely. And I think bless his little cotton socks, because the intentions were obviously right.
Yes.
So I'm talking to you upstairs now, Anonymous. But I think often what we feel, and I think you hit the nail on the head, both of you, it's not so much about what he was anticipating from them, but more about where he was in his own state of readiness. The friend zone is a dangerous place to be. If you've got any personal perspective or questions to ask about something you're going through right now, I know we've given you a small example. We've got an expert panel here today to answer those questions. Let us know how you're feeling about being friend zoned, some of the intricacies and maybe some tips to get us out of that friend zone. We'll see you now.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And we have been discussing a very important topic. If you've missed it, we've got some talented individuals on the couch. We've got a registered counsellor, Kelly Jacobs, is here. And we've got Sadia Southgate, who is here. And Sadia has a very unique title. It's a mouthful. It's a HPCSA-OMG, WTF, registered counsellor and psychology supervisor. Lol. I think that's what I got, hopefully. But thank you so much for sticking around. After us making donuts, we actually got a little bit of inspiration.
Yeah, we got a fat conversation to get into.
Yes, we do.
Fat. Okay, so we're talking about the friend zone, and until you've experienced actually being firmly placed in the friend zone, you might not know what we're talking about. So our young Tyler gave us a perfect opportunity to show you, and you will feel it as well. Take a look at this. Take a listen.
So I can't do Zoe, so my only option is Tyler. Would you like to go on a date with me?
Are you asking for real?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
What you mean? Why not?
Don't do that.
I'm serious. Whenever you get some free time, would you like to go on a date with me?
You can't do that. On a whole live thing.
Why not? It's true or dare.
But we're friends though.
You right.
Yeah, we're friends.
You right. Alright, next one.
She was like one of those helicopter pilots where they think kind of...
Did that guy obviously just blindsiding somebody like that, maybe not cool though, because you can't just make somebody sweat and make something hotter, make somebody lose their breath and make something
Just off the chair, yeah.
Anyway, so now shall we unpack?
Yeah.
That's actually a good thing. You know, I do think that because of the age of social media, that people would do that because they have that platform.
Yeah.
And there's almost like this guarantee, you know, working on live, when you ask somebody something, there's this whole thing about I need to say yes because we're live. Do you think that's what was employed in this particular moment over here?
It definitely seems that way.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like he had very sneaky intentions and he tried to put that pressure on her, and that wasn't fair.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Agenda. But you could tell, Sadia, from her body language, before the bomb dropped, okay, and she returned fire, you could tell how comfortable she was from that moment. If he was fully engaged with her and not using this ulterior motive mechanism that he had, he would have picked up on that in a second.
Yes. I think even in the beginning, like watching her body language, she was like leaning to the side. It would have been like there's already like a distance, and that already again is a form of communication. You know, if she had leaned in, it would have been different, but he really put her in a very awkward and uncomfortable situation. And I mean, she called him out on it, but he still applied pressure on her. And I think in today's day and age, that happens quite often, especially with social media.
Yeah, he friend-zoned himself there. He just pulled the pin out and he was holding the grenade. He was like, oh, no, take it. She was like, nah, brother, you keep it.
Well,
interesting.
Communication important, because the thing is, we actually asked our amazing family on Expresso to just weigh in, and there were some comments that we can all unpack together. So let's go for the first one. This is Tradine. This is my advice for, and this is for obviously getting out of the friend zone. My advice, just be honest. Put it exactly how you stated in your post. You don't know her past experiences, so maybe she was friend zoned on numerous occasions in the hopes of growing into something more than friends, and in the end, it was just a waste of her time. And as you know, time is a priceless element. Once you lost, you never get it back. So yeah, maybe she has the expectation or mindset that if you're interested, then let's not waste time and see how things work out. Like I said, unapologetically honest. What's the worst that can happen? I think the worst is being rejected, but hell, I think we all have our fair share of rejection in this lifetime. One more won't even raise an eyebrow.
Wow, Tradine's been through the most.
You can hear that, eh?
She's navigating those waters for the rest of us. She's out there leading the pack. I love you for sharing those thoughts. Samantha Kirchhoff saying she feels misled. You had to be straight in week one already. But I suppose you weren't sure of your own feelings. She's picking up what you're putting down as yet. Now, women know what they want, so they'll step back when they feel vulnerable. So maybe try a different approach. Don't be pushy. Just let things flow like water from here and see what happens. Show you care. It's always in the small gestures. And good luck. I love that we had a pessimist and an optimist weighing in. Good luck, she says to all of us.
The next one, Anna saying, be honest, tell how you feel. Donna saying, I wish people would normalize getting to know each other first. If I'm to venture into a new relationship, I want him to be a best friend first. It should be a compliment when someone wants to get to know you for you. This should be normalized. It's much more solid foundation for a more lasting relationship. People seem to get offended when you say you want to get to know them better, when actually it's a high form of respect. Oh, that is so true. You know why? Instant gratification in our current consumption of content and relationships.
Dopamine.
Just want to get the quick hit, quick fix, and like just, so what's going on between us? Is it going to happen? Okay, is it not? Okay, cool, I'm out. Why are we like this, man? You know what I do want to do is that I would love to know from experts.
Yeah.
And these are my experts. These two, we're going to throw them a curveball now. Is there a foolproof way of actually migrating from this is my bestie, but now I'd like to have, I have feelings for this, my bestie? Because so many people don't say anything because, number one, they don't want to ruin the friendship.
Yeah, it's a big risk.
Number two, they're thinking, rejection, I can't do this right now. So they're going to keep locked away until they watch this person walk down the aisle with somebody else. And they didn't take their shot.
Let's stand outside their house with boards.
You see? This is obviously he's past. Anyway, I just need to ask this from experts. I know it's a tough question, but are there ways to migrate from having a great friend that you'd never want to lose, but knowing that you are attracted to this person in a different way now as you've grown?
Yeah. I think dealing with rejection is something that we have to deal with every day in our lives, and it's something that's completely normal. And in order to navigate from the friend zone into a potential romantic relationship, it does take vulnerability, and it's the risk that you're going to take. You can cope with rejection. It doesn't feel great. Nobody really wants to deal with that, but if it does come, you can cope with it and you can learn how to deal with it. But if it doesn't come and the person actually shows an interest in you too, it's a win. So it's worth the risk, personally, in my opinion. I don't know
Yes,
what you
yes.
think.
I think there's nothing that you can lose by asking, you know, because the answer's always going to say no. Stay no if you go, if you're not going,
that's
if you
a
don't, you
foregone
know.
conclusion.
So as Kelly was saying, you know, rejection is a part of life across the spectrum of experiences. So we don't always get the job we want, you know, have social experiences, a social life. The outcome of that maybe isn't how we would like it to be. We don't get picked on the team that we want to be on, you know, so it's a part of life. So when we kind of change our perspective about that, and we kind of, as you said earlier on, you know, we're self-aware about the scenario. So whichever way that it goes out, I'm still okay regardless of that. And because it's my friend, I want the best for them.
You haven't lived until your heart's been smashed on the floor. I'm sorry, man. You've got to deal with it. And I'm telling you, it's going to hurt a lot less than seeing that person that you love with someone else.
Yes. And then
So
you live
just
with
keep that
regret.
on mind. Yeah. So we've had some great comments come through, and it's not all doom and gloom. You can migrate. I like that.
I had to
You
use
can't
it,
move,
yeah.
you migrate.
Migrate.
Okay, gradually out of the friend zone. So let's hear from Ramelia, who said friend zone, as in we now in a relationship. Yes, my husband and I were best friends. We saw each other through relationships, through heartache at one stage, even gave up our friendship because our partners couldn't deal with that friendship. 10 years later, he was 10 years, buddy, was bold enough to say, let's try a relationship. We have been with each other. Others, it doesn't work, and today we are married. We'll be married 8 years this year. You are not alone, my friend. You are not alone. I love that.
Wow, success stories, and you know, that's a great one to just wrap up this conversation about it, though. But I think what you have done and articulated beautifully, ladies, is that the communication and intention is vitally important. You communicate with your body, with your words, but keep on communicating. And don't hold communication back because you're afraid of the vulnerability. I think that if you go for it and you respect your friend enough, you will tell them how you feel and know that that friend, who is a real friend, will understand and also talk to you if they perhaps don't want a relationship further to what you have, or if they are like, I'm feeling the same way, which is powerful.
Are you trying to tell me something, dude? Have you not
wanna
learned anything from Tyler? But, like, not in a live TV, I feel like you're putting me on the spot.
I'm sorry.
No, that's it. I'm calling that's all on our relationship talk for today. Stay tuned because we're going to be back with more on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. In fact, it's feeling extra good this morning.